Hey friends, it's me, Pastor Doug, with another word of encouragement for the day for today, Friday, February 4th. Welcome to Friday. Hey, today's word comes out of the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 9. And in it, we continue our I Dare You series, where we've been exploring 6 practices designed to help you and me connect more deeply with God. 2 weeks ago, we talked about prayer, and we set aside 5 minutes every day to make sure that we were spending time connecting with God in prayer. Last week, we talked about the importance of reading the scriptures, and we set aside time every day to read 3 chapters out of the book of John, so that by the end of last week, we all read all 21 chapters of the book of John as a way to connect more deeply with God and understand the life and teaching and ministry of this Jesus that we follow. This week, we're talking about the Sabbath, coming from the Hebrew word Shabbat, which means to stop, to cease, to desist, or to rest. And today, I want to read to you a passage out of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. And this is a really fascinating statement that Jesus makes to the Apostle Paul. He says this, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness." Friends, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about me. I have a hard time resting. I have a hard time stopping. There's probably a lot of reasons for that. Number one, both my mom and dad set a great example for me when I was growing up of just having really strong work ethic and the importance of work. So I kind of have this internal drive from childhood, to produce, to work, to do a good job. But then on top of that, I work in a job where there's always infinitely more work to be done that I will never get to, more phone calls to respond to, more emails to reply to, more problems to solve, more situations to attend to. I mean, there's just way more than I will ever be able to get to. And so there's that kind of pressure from the outside of like more to do. And then I think I'm just a product of this cultural age where everyone's constantly busy. I mean, how often do you ask somebody, "Hey, how are you doing?" And they respond with, "Oh man, I'm so busy," right? And they go into how busy their week is or how busy their days are. And it's true. I mean, we are busy. If you're retired, you're busy. If you have a job, you're busy. If you have kids, you're busy. If you have grandkids, you're busy. Somehow we find a way to fill our time. And so we all feel busy. And so we live with this sense of it's not enough. I haven't done enough. I haven't finished my to-do list. I haven't checked off enough boxes. I haven't done enough. And I was really stirred by something that John Mark Comer wrote in his book, Garden City. He says that part of this, the purpose of Sabbath is to draw a line in the sand and to say enough is enough. He says this, "No more work, no more stuff. Enough is enough. I do not have to work more. I do not have to buy more. I do not have to sell more. I do not have to move up in the company. I do not have to earn my Father's love. I do not have anything to prove." He continues, he says, "I do not have to get a perfect score. I do not need another stamp on my passport. I do not need another bay in my garage. I do not need to be younger or more beautiful or have flatter abs," although he says that sure would be nice. He says, "I don't have to have my kids in ballet or soccer all year long. I don't need to make everyone happy. I don't need to get everything I want." Friends, John Mark Comer is saying that the Sabbath is a reminder that we already have everything we need, that Christ ultimately is sufficient. And while we may have responsibilities and we may have duties and there may be expectations that people have of us, and I'm not saying to be irresponsible, but what the Sabbath does is the Sabbath forces us every week to stop and say enough is enough. I don't have to fill every single waking moment of my entire life going and producing and making and doing. I can stop. And in stopping, I can trust that Christ is sufficient and that his power actually shows up in beautiful ways through my weakness, through my insufficiencies, through what I'm not able to do and produce and accomplish. And friends, that is one of the beautiful truths of the Sabbath. So friends, I sure hope that you have already either practiced Sabbath this week and designated some time to rest, or that you're planning on doing so this weekend, maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow on Saturday, or the next day on Sunday, to just set aside time to rest and be present with God as a way of telling him, you know what? You're enough. Friends, I hope you'll join us this Sunday morning for our weekend services as we celebrate God's goodness together. Hope you'll be able to join us in person or online, and we'll pick these videos up next week as we continue this I Dare You series. Have a great weekend practicing the Sabbath, resting in the presence of God, and we'll see you next week.